I got the Trio 30G back that I worked on a while back with a different problem this time. It appears that the new bass control I put on isn't functioning correctly. Well, this is kind of different here. This is the Trio, the AGS Trio I serviced a while back, and client brings it back to me and he says, you know, I think there's a problem with the bass control that I replaced. If you remember, this one had he had broken the shaft, and he obtained a new control for me. We put the new bass control on, and he says, you know, it's not tracking properly. So we listen to it here. The control, this left side, does definitely not track the same as the right. The bass on the right doesn't appear to go all the way down as low as the bass on the left. So I'm left thinking this has got to be a bad control. Got to be a bad control on this. So anyway, I've got it back here. Let's take a look and see if I'm right. See whether the new control, it's a 50K control that I put in, a 50K dual control. Let's just see whether the control is actually tracking. So we'll turn it off here. I'm just going to pull the bottom off. I should be able to access everything from the bottom on this thing. So here's the bass off the unit. And the control that I changed is this one right down here. So let's just get a look at the control. I grab my meter, and we're just going to measure and see whether the control is actually tracking properly or not. So here's the ohm meter. Now when I turn this thing all the way down to minimum, I would expect it to be like sitting at pretty close to 0 ohms, I would think, between the wiper and the contact on the edge. So here's one channel. Oh, 63 ohms. I think it should be lower than that. Okay, 2.5 ohms, that's correct. And the other side, might be easier if I just remove the control. Just take off the knob here. We'll actually take the control out. Might be a little bit easier to measure that way. Okay, now we've got the control out. A little easier to measure. So the one side of it, when the controls turned all the way down, where was it here? It was like 2 ohms, 3.2 ohms, and this side here, 19 ohms. I would think that that's probably why the bass is going much lower on one channel than the other. Let's just turn the control all the way up and see what happens if we measure the wiper to the other side here. Five ohms. On this side here, 2.9. So it's much better on one side than the other. Come on, make a connection. There we go. But definitely when it's turned down, I would expect it to be around the same, about 2.5 ohms. And as you can see, 11 ohms. I think this pot is bad. Let's try another one. So here's another new pot. Turn it all the way down and measure between the wiper, 1.1 ohms, and the other side here, is it going to be also, yeah, 1.1 ohms, that's good. We turn it up all the way, measure the other side here, 0.9, looks good. 1.4, that's close enough. Okay, I think we just have a bad pot. So let's change that one out. That should be pretty straightforward. Just transfer the 6 wires back over, and hopefully that's going to solve his problem and send this one on its way. And then I can get on to another little project I have here for today. I tell you, today I've got my plasma at the side of my bench, using it as my view monitor, just because the other one, which is over my left shoulder in front of me here, the camera is quite often right in front of the camera boom is right in front of the screen. So I plugged it into my other monitor over here as my viewfinder, and I keep forgetting to look there. I keep looking at the other one and it's off. But now I've got it on this 42-inch standard definition plasma, so it's not really any good for seeing any detail. My other one's a high definition LCD screen. This is a standard definition plasma that I've got over here. But I keep looking over at the thing or keep looking at the wrong monitor when I'm shooting. Okay, let's just disconnect the 3 leads from the back side of this control. There are those 3 disconnected. Then we'll disconnect the other 3, and then I can just swap out the control. There's the dead control out. Just see if there's any markings that are different on this thing than the other one. What does this one say? Well, it really doesn't say much. What does it say on here? It says 50K times 2, but as we saw in the meter, it certainly, when it was all the way down, it certainly didn't measure the same as I would have expected it to. So here's one side, 2.8 ohms, and on this side here it was 32 ohms. Turn it all the way up, this side of the control, 3 ohms, 30 ohms. So I don't know what's up with this control, but this control this was a brand new control. This one is junk. When you're setting up a stereo control, you have to have both sides that go up and down at the same rate. If they don't, you're going to have problems. Just going to see whether this fits in here properly. And it looks like I gotta take this little tab off on the side here, otherwise it won't sit flush. So we'll just bend that little tab over. Okay. I'll put this new controller. I'm just going to tin the leads first to make attaching it easy. This should be a pretty straightforward, simple repair, I would think. Considering all the trouble that this receiver gave me when I was working on it. This is the one that the FM stereo didn't work, if you remember, and I spent a fair bit of time recapping the MTS, or not the MTS, the MPX. Of course, MTS is the same thing, but it's for television. MTS was multi-channel TV sound. It's still a multiplex board, just different terminology. So, anyway. This should be nice, simple. Nice and simple. We'll just reattach the wires here. Okay, the other side up here. Now we should be able to test this thing. Make sure there's nothing touching. That sounds a bit better. That sounds a lot better. Now they're tracking properly. There we go, done. So there you have it. You know, you get a brand new control, and they can sometimes be bad. Now it might be that it might be the type of control, because there were different types of controls made. Normally you'd want to use like a log control or a linear control where both are the same, but there were instances where controls were made with different tapers for the front and back control. Typically they were not used in a stereo control like a balance control. Typically they would have been used as a volume / loudness control in a mono system. Yamaha were very good for this, where they'd actually have 4 stacked together, and 2 of them were the left and right for the volume, and then the back 2 were the left and right for the taper for the loudness control. So that may be what this was this may have been configured for one control to be a volume control and the other one to affect the tone or the presence, as they used to call it. So that might have been what this was, and that way they would actually have 2 slightly different tapers, or it could just be a defective control. Either way, I didn't notice it initially when it went out because I wasn't really paying attention to the bass control. When this unit originally came in, it came in because the receiver wasn't working, and I had to fix that. And the only reason the control was changed is because, well, the control was bent and the customer tried to straighten it and snapped it. So he brought me a control to replace, and I did, and I didn't really run it through its paces, but he did. When he got it home, he listened to it and he brought it back and he said, geez, I don't think this thing's tracking right. And he was right, it wasn't, but now it is. So there you go, bad control. We'll catch you in the next one real soon. Bye for now.